Thank you. Ooh, not me about to get emotional. Oh, girl, you better stop, girl. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxy with Roxy Says, and we're going to talk about it. Today, we are reviewing Love is Blind Season 7 DC The Reunion. So much happened. I am stressed. I am stressed out. We're going to get into this video, but before we do, I just have to say thank you all so much. We are almost at 30,000 subscribers. We just passed 29, and to even say that, I I can't even believe that I'm saying that right now. And I just want to tell you all, thank you so much. Y'all have been liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting. I always get comments that are motivating and encouraging, and I want to take that time to motivate and encourage you all because I know that a lot of y'all want to start your own channel. I've received comments of people saying that my channel has motivated them to want to start their own channel, but they just haven't gotten around to doing it or they doubt themselves. I know all about that. It took me months and months and months to finally say, okay, I'm going to sit down and start my channel. I doubted myself. I procrastinated. I know all about it. Just start. Your tribe will find you the same way that y'all have found me. Your people will find you. You don't need the newest equipment. Every video that y'all have seen has been recorded on an iPhone. I think this is a 13 or 12. It's an iPhone, okay? Get you some little $20 lights from Amazon. Get yourself a little $30 mic, okay? And start. Even if it's not YouTube, even if it's another dream, if it's another goal, get started. You could do it. You got this, okay? Thank you so much for listening. My review for Married at First Sight, yes, I am reviewing Married at First Sight, will drop tomorrow, episodes 1, 2, and 3. I have been thoroughly entertained, and word on the curb is that two of the couples get very inappropriate. Okay, so let's get right into this reunion. But before we do, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Even though this season is coming to an end, we still got more content on the way. We still gonna have a good time. So make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you're made aware when I post my new video, which will be up tomorrow. Okay, so first up, let me get this out the way. Netflix. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I feel like I've said it last season and the season before that. We don't want to see the old cast. We don't need the updates on them. I see y'all trying to save your little coin instead of doing an After the Altar special. You want to throw the people in this reunion? No, ma'am. We don't want it. And if you've been here for some time, you know I like AD. You know I love me some Bliss and Zach. I just think that they're the cutest, quirkiest, owl-loving singing couple. I even did a congratulatory video for them when I found out they were pregnant. I love the couple. Don't want to see them at this reunion. So because of that, what we're going to do is get all of their updates out the way so we could get to the good stuff, okay? So AD, she says that she's happy and she's thriving and she's dating someone very special. She wanted to be real secretive about it, but the reality, Ashley is claiming that that special someone is Ali from Love is Blind UK. Okay? Next, we see Zach and Bliss, and they brought their little daughter, Galileo. I'm happy for them. Next, we see Jessica. She's from season 1. You know, the girl who was letting her dog drink wine out of her glass. She's married. They have an adorable son. He had on his little baby suit. Just adorable. Next, we got Nancy. She moved to New York City, my city, Brooklyn, New York, period. You better act like you know. And she got a new man. Okay, next, Marshall, he moved to LA and he's single now. Okay, he didn't say this in the reunion, but Marshall was engaged to a woman. I think she was a doctor and they broke up. See how quick we did that, Netflix? These people did not need to be at the reunion. So let's move on to the actual season. All right, so we see everyone come out. Y'all already know the drill. We had a nice little kiki on my community tab about the reunion looks, but my favorite dress was definitely Marissa's. I think she looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, next we see Nick and Vanessa and they're getting all warmed up, making periodic table jokes with Garrett and Taylor. And from there, I already knew the reunion was about to be on some BS. We don't have time for y'all little scientific jokes, okay? We got serious shit to discuss. But we do see that Garrett and Taylor are still madly in love. Garrett has grown his hair out. I do like the hair. I hate the flare, though, of his pants. Not feeling the pants, okay? They went bass fishing, and Nick and Vanessa are asking them, how do you hold the fish after you catch it? Again, we don't care about this stuff. But we do find out that Garrett has been fishing with Tim and Alex and all the boys. Later in the episode, we see Taylor's parents and they are so happy for her and Garrett. They still haven't moved to San Diego. They're still in Fredericksburg, and right now they are actually looking for places in DC. And I'm happy to hear that they were able to come to a compromise because Garrett says that it was extremely hard for him to make the move to San Diego. Even though they spent a lot of time in San Diego, he loves it there. He loves being around her family. He also knew that he would miss his family dearly if he made that not move. And I love the fact that they've learned that their new home isn't necessarily with their parents, but their new home as a married couple is wherever they are with each other. All right. And I've been said that they should be together for at least 1 year before even deciding to move to San Diego. So I do love that they figured out a solution that works well for the both of them. Okay. So then they turned to Ashley and Tyler, and I was like, yes, let's get to the good stuff. But 2 seconds later, I was like, wait, hold on a second. Why y'all doing Ashley and Tyler second and not last? That let me know that this scene was about to be on some BS as well. Because if they were really gonna go in, they would have saved that for when? The end of the episode, right? They did it second. Let's get this over with. So Vanessa tells Tyler that on the show, he let it be known that he donated sperm to help a friend and her wife have kids. But now it appears that things are very different than the way he presented them on the show with all of the chit chatter online. And now they need him to clarify.
You revealed that you donated sperm.
Yep.
And then what's going on with that?
Those kids, that family.
Wait, pause the clip. Pause the clip. Did he just say those kids and that family? As if they don't share his DNA? Did he just say that? No, I just want to know if I heard correctly. Did he just refer to those babies as those kids?
They did not sign up for this. I did help a friend, but her wife ended up leaving her. I stepped in and helped. So there is pictures of me around. This is news to the world. I don't owe anyone an explanation but my wife. And if she's sitting here with me.
Listen, let me say this, okay? The last thing that I'm gonna do is come up here and give more damns to this situation than the people in it. Because Ashley clearly don't give a damn.
Who do you think has better insight on what's going on, social media or me? It's like insulting to my intelligence. She was blindsided, she didn't know it. So I told him in some capacity we have to talk about this. He is a good person. And it's like, I was aware and I took on what I wanted to.
She claims that we're insulting her by claiming that we know more about the situation than she knows when she's the one in it, okay? She also claims that on the show, when we saw her ask Tyler if the kids knew what he looked like, she says that she already spoke to him about this off camera and they were just reshooting the scene for our viewing pleasure, okay?
Do the kids know what you look like?
I don't think so.
And you said no. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
So she already knew about all of this. Do y'all believe that? I don't. And even if you did know during that scene, let's say we believe her. Let's say she did know during that scene. He still lied to you in the pods, sis. He still purposely left that off of his application when coming on this show, boo. Y'all still had countless conversations where y'all spoke about kids, and he made sure to leave out the fact that he had children. Are you saying you knew the whole time? You knew from in the pods? Is that what you're saying? That's not what you're saying. You didn't find out until he felt like telling you. Ashley said that's her man. She gonna stick beside him. She don't care what we gotta say.
That's my man and I'm gonna stick beside him. I don't care if he didn't tell me about his children. I don't care. You're the stupid ones, not me. I'm not stupid, you're stupid. You're the stupid ones, not me. At least I got a man, yeah.
Tyler says that this is the first time that he's experienced unconditional love, and Ashley tells him every single day that she ain't leaving him. Ashley feels like this is as good as it's gonna get. She says that this is a once-in-a-lifetime love. She gonna ride this till the wheels fall off. And it's clear that Ashley is cool and complicit with Tyler neglecting his own kids, who he was seeing up until he came to this show. So you can't say, Tyler, that these are just sperm donor kids. You weren't really active in their life when you were, according to the child's mother, and I'm inclined to believe it, okay? You were active in their life, and then when you came on this show, you said, F them kids. And Ashley's like, all right, F them kids, let's go. And on top of that, Tyler says that there are other things that have come up in their relationship, and Ashley is still by his side, okay? And Ashley's mom, she feels the same way. She just loves her some Tyler. She says that she's actually learning from their communication. What? Okay, one big happy family. Love that for y'all. All I know is that Tyler better keep looking over his shoulder, okay? Because one day, when you least expect it, them kids, they gonna find you and they gonna jump you. Yeah, they gonna jump you. And it's only right. And then later in the episode, we see them discussing their new holiday traditions and they make ornaments. Did you make ornaments with those babies? Because you were with them on previous Christmases in matching pajamas and everything. Did you call them for Christmas? Did you do that? They say that they spent last Christmas with Ashley's family. They show us some pictures. So is Tyler just never gonna see these kids again? Is that the plan? Is that the plan? And they're both saying how happy they've been, how in love they are, okay? But you can see the body language in this scene, especially from Ashley. Homegirl was cutting off Tyler's circulation in that thigh. She was gripping that thigh, baby. She was tense and uncomfortable. Both of them were. In previous episodes, I felt really bad for Ashley. I'm like, oh my God, how can Tyler hide something like this from her? But now, the only victims in this situation are those babies, are those children, okay? Because he is still denying them and referring to them as those kids. Tyler, those are your kids. And I'm sure the biological mom is going to pop up with another video after this reunion stating that those kids are not just sperm donor babies, and also reiterating her claims that those two actually slept together to create that set of twins. Okay, Tyler's trying to act like it was just a turkey baster method with all three. Bri, she says no, they did it the old-fashioned way. Okay, that's how those children were conceived, the second two at least. Now, we all know that there are men who do show up for their kids even when the relationships with the mom doesn't work out. They don't miss their weekends with the kids, their weeks, summer vacation. They financially support what's required and then some. On top of that, they don't miss a school play, they don't miss a basketball game, they don't miss a parent-teacher conference. They're in that child's life and they show up. If that's the way that Tyler operated, if that's the way that Tyler was parenting these three kids when he allegedly fought for custody for these, don't even get me started. There's so many videos about it. Go find the videos, okay? And I touched on it in my previous review. If that's how Tyler operated with these children and he was forthcoming about it as opposed to calling them sperm donor babies, I would be less afraid for Ashley. But girl, let me just tell you this. You better hope and pray that if you end up having children for Tyler, and for whatever reason, your marriage doesn't work out, you don't find yourself in the same predicament where you have to turn around and watch this man call you and your children those kids and that family. And that's all I got on that. So next we got Marissa and Ramses, and Nick and Vanessa asked them how it felt having to watch that breakup scene back.
I felt like I was reliving. Felt like my heart was breaking all over again. Yeah.
I didn't come into this experience wanting to believe anyone, heartbroken. Just seeing how she was falling apart was very difficult to watch back.
Ramses said that he really loved Marissa, but one day it just hit home for him and he realized that if he was to move forward with her, he would be exhausted and overwhelmed every day. I said, damn. And then we get a word from Vanessa, okay? I see she didn't lace up her combat boots and screw in her tongue ring, but she had on a nice gown and a nose ring today.
Even though I wanted to punch him in the throat, I did go up there and speak to him. I'm thankful he called it off. She would have carried that relationship, and you broke her. She was devastated.
Listen, I fully understand that Marissa was hurt by this experience. We have all experienced heartbreak, and baby is a bitch. Oh, it hurt so bad, okay? I know. But the fact that it's been a year and Marissa still hasn't realized that being dumped by Mr. Two Braids is the best thing that could have happened to her, it's a bit concerning. She says that she didn't even have a say in the breakup. And I'm like, yeah, that's how a lot of breakups work. Not all breakups are mutual. Usually it's one person saying, hey, I can't do this. Hey, this isn't working for me. Hey, I don't love you anymore. Hey, like, you know, it's not always mutual. So everyone always doesn't have a say in a breakup. And again, I'm not saying that Marissa isn't allowed to feel her feelings. She is 1000% allowed that. But I'm just a little sad that even after all of this, it still feels as if Marissa hasn't fully realized the beauty of her worth, her spirit, her personality, okay? And I don't think that she would still be this upset about a relationship ending, like a 3-month relationship at that, ending with someone who she was clearly incompatible with. He did you a solid, sis. He really did. And even Nick has to let her know you should be with someone who loves all of you. And Nick is 1000% right. Why be with someone who you have to contort yourself, okay, and stifle your personality for every single day? That is a horrible life to live. And then we see Ramses say that he wants to set the record straight about their contraception conversation.
I wanted to clarify, at no point I ever tried to present Marissa with an ultimatum, and so I would never try to force that upon her. We arrived at sort of a solution that worked best for us.
And that's the end of their scene, but we're going to hear more from Marissa a little bit later. But as far as her relationship with Ramses, I really do wish Marissa the best. She is a beautiful girl. She has a beautiful spirit. I mean, she's an Aries, right? Come on. But honestly, Marissa seems like a sweetheart. I'm sure her DMs are popping, okay? And I genuinely wish her the best. All right, so next we get to Hannah and Nick. And Hannah starts off by saying the same shit, talking about, oh, she's just direct and she's just blunt. And I'm like, okay, this girl, she hasn't learned a thing. She hasn't learned a thing.
My personality is just, I'm very to the point, I'm very direct. That's just who I am. Sometimes my delivery does not come out how I think it's coming out. The things that I said were all true, but it's just the way that you say it.
And baby, I know I get on here and laugh and joke and stuff, but when it's time for me to get serious, oh, I get serious. I get serious, and I have no problem getting my point across, setting my expectations, my boundaries, my requirements, making them crystal motherfucking clear, okay? And guess what? I don't have to demean or belittle anyone to do so, because you already gonna know what type of time I'm on, okay? So Hannah sitting on this stage, tripling down, really shows that she still has not learned her lesson. She still hasn't gotten that taste of her own medicine that she so desperately needs.
She's entitled to her opinion, but the delivery could have been a little bit better.
That's inherently who I am, and like, I am direct. I just need to work on how direct I am.
Then we see Garrett jump in and he says, look, Nick showed way more patience than I would have had. Okay, he said him and his Saturday Night Fever costume, they wasn't having it. And after Garrett says that, Hannah's like, yeah, I know I'm a lot. You got to have enough patience with me. And I'm just so direct. And I've worked on it this year. And I'm just so direct. You know, I'm a bitch. I'm a direct bitch, Nick. And then after all of that, she finally apologizes to Nick for being so cruel to him. And she says that she is so sorry. And I'm like, girl, if you really felt like that, you would have led with the apology, okay? So Vanessa gives Hannah some props and she says that, ooh, girl, we've seen your glow up. And Hannah says, yes, over the years, she's had a lot of time to grow. And then Vanessa asks her if she's loving this version of herself. And she says, I think I do. Okay, and then she starts to get really emotional. And I think it's because she knows that deep down she does not. And we've spoken about this in the comments before. Hannah has some deep-rooted issues that are clearly stemming from her childhood that she is working through. She is not confident in herself, and because of that, she beats down on people who she views as beneath her. And I truly think that Hannah thought that her weight loss would magically make everything better, but the issue was never her weight. The issue was her personality. Her issue was her attitude and the way that she treats others. And we're also going to see a couple of the ladies on stage say that she's a bitch to them as well. And until she fixes the real issue, she's going to be the same mean girl, just in slimmer packaging. So next we see Nick. He's trying to defend Hannah by saying that she shouldn't be receiving the hate comments that she's been getting online. And she's like, oh yeah, so then why have you been liking those hate comments, Nick? And then Hannah says this.
I think it was 2 weeks right before we left.
Right before filming.
Yes, like in his work notebook. The third bullet point was that he wants to be the most famous person ever on Love is Blind.
Now listen, the audience was gasping, but I wasn't shocked by that at all. At this point, I believe that anyone who goes on Love is Blind or any dating reality show at all, has some type of goal of obtaining some type of fame. And for this particular show, finding love is just the cherry on top. I've been said this seasons ago. You quit your high-paying dream job to be here. You gonna tell me that you did that for love and not to be an influencer? That's what... Hannah, come on, girl. And Nick starts trying to explain, and Hannah's just sitting there with that face like, yeah, I got you good, huh? Then Hannah says a bit more.
Nick is a very calculated person. Things that he was saying behind my back after the video, like calling me like your grenade and calling me ugly, and all these people are saying that he's saying all these things behind my back. But then when he gets on camera, Hannah's just so amazing.
And when she first said this, I was like, I'm gonna need someone to verify, because we already seen with that whole Duckgate situation, when Hannah retells a story, she gonna put 20 on 10. Okay, she's going to add a little bit more oomph to it. But baby, it seems like Hannah was telling the truth.
With the things I was hearing, how he was rating her, it just makes you question, was he serious about her?
I never said that.
Did that not happen?
We're not.
I'm gonna speak.
And after his continuous denying, more people jump in to corroborate her story.
Okay, so Monica, you said she looked like a grenade.
I never said that.
Yes, you did.
Did that happen? Yeah.
Hannah was a bitch to Nick as her best friend. I'm sorry that she was like that. She should not. She's been mean to me before too.
Wait, hold up, Marissa. Did you just say she's a bitch to you too? So y'all just let Hannah walk around talking to y'all crazy? That's just what y'all do over here? Someone needs to put Hannah on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Put Hannah on Real Housewives of New Jersey. Put Hannah on Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay? Put her on one of those shows. I bet she ain't as direct as she thinks she is. Oh, because they will get her all the way together.
Nick, love you, but you did not like what Hannah looked like. You talked about it.
Let's keep it 100, man.
Yeah, I said I was underwhelmed when I saw Hannah at the reveal.
And like I said, at first I didn't believe Hannah, but after damn near everyone on the stage confirmed it, Yeah, I 1,000,000% believe that Nick said exactly what they're saying he said. And this is another example of Nick's immaturity, okay? Both him and Hannah are immature, all right? Y'all know, if you new here, go back to a previous video. Don't get in these comments talking about, oh, you did a... Go look at the previous videos, okay? Both Nick and Hannah are immature AF and have no business getting married, all right? But at this reunion, it took almost everyone on stage calling Nick out for him to barely own up to the words that came out of his own mouth. If you're gonna say some shit, Nick, and you're confronted, stand in your shit. But then we see Marissa start going off on Nick, and I get it. I get it. I'm that girl. I go hard for my friends. But I go hard for myself too. Clearly, Marissa didn't get that slice of the Aries pie because she don't go hard for herself. She goes hard for, you know, her friends. But where was all this energy when it was time to dig into Ramses' ass? Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Why did she invite me over?
Because we're all human. I was f***ing that man. Like, we all do crazy shit.
So, Marissa, you was still sleeping with Ramses after he broke your entire heart? And Ramses, she was too much for you, right? She was exhausting, but not that exhausting because y'all was still able to. Were y'all still doing this raw after the... You know what? You know what? I'm going to leave that one alone. Good luck to you. In all honesty, though, at the end of the day, the craziest thing to me about this entire scene is that we spent so much time on this. Meanwhile, there's a man on stage who was hiding 3 kids. And he got like, what, 2 minutes?
I'm not stupid, you're stupid.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But you know they got to drag this scene out even more. So they show the argument between Nick and Hannah about Katie. And they ask Katie how she felt watching it back. And Katie says that she was sick to her stomach and she didn't know that Hannah felt that way. And Hannah says, girl, you know I trust you. I was just mad at Nick in the moment, so I claimed that I didn't trust you. Okay, whatever. They're best friends in the whole wide world. Good for them. So next they bring out Leo and Brittany. And I'm like, do you know that you have 4 minutes? Yes, 4 minutes, okay? Y'all better wrap this shit up. Because if production felt that they weren't needed on the honeymoons, why are they at the reunion? Taking up precious time. So they asked Leo why he was always talking about his money, and he says that although producers did encourage them to talk about their attributes, he leaned more into money than he realized he did. So you know what that means, Leo? That's probably an indication that you don't have many other attributes outside of your money, I'm just saying. And then we see Tim vouch for Leo.
Leo's a misunderstood guy. Leo has a good heart.
They asked Leo about his dilemma when he had to choose between Hannah and Brittany, and he says that it was extremely hard because he's someone who likes to have complete control when making decisions, and he couldn't with this experience, and he pretty much put the women's feelings on the back burner, and he compares them to steak and pasta or whatever, and I'm like, what's going on? And as soon as Leo says steak, Steven, with his freaky ass and his ankles, jumps in and he's like, well, I wouldn't mind being compared to meat. Sir, who was speaking to you? No one was speaking to you, baby. And Nick Lachey is like, oh, don't worry. We're going to get to your nasty ass in just a second, okay? You just sit tight. So Leo apologizes to both Brittany and Hannah. He admits that the breakup between him and Hannah wasn't mutual, that she actually dumped him. And that's what it is. Next, they asked Brittany how she felt at the reveal.
I was fully aware of how awkward it was. It just got worse and worse. But I wasn't uncomfortable with him. Honestly, I wish he kissed me more to shut me up.
They both said that it wasn't surprised when production told them that they weren't going on the honeymoon because it was clear that there was no genuine connection. It was very weak. And the both of them knew that they wouldn't make it to the altar, so they feel like production made the right decision. They show us a couple of pictures from their trip in Miami. Brittany says that even though they weren't compatible as a couple, they're still great friends. They start talking about him taking sips of her drink. We don't care. Moving on. So next we get to Freaky Steve and they ask him about those text messages.
Steven, tell us what was in the text.
I don't remember. I deleted them. They're pretty juicy. I'm not going to go too deep. For the respect of the individual.
Well, you certainly didn't have respect for me in that moment.
And there's nothing that I can say that'll change anybody's mind. I've read books. I go to therapy. I don't think anybody believes me. Nobody cares about my side of the story.
So that's what you were so thirsty to say? A bunch of nothing, a bunch of, well, y'all won't believe me anyway, so why should I even say anything? So why are you here? And you're right, we don't believe you. And then they show the picture that Steven sent of himself at his sleep test, and I'm like, that just looked like some tape, some headphones, and 2 iPhone chargers wrapped around his head. To me, that's what I see. But okay, if he say he was there, he was there. He claims that he never met this girl in person. They only spoke in the DMs, and he hasn't spoken to her since. But why is she hitting you up about her heart condition and her fetishes? Okay, whatever. Then they remind Monica of the date in the pods where Steven told her that he did something pretty similar to an ex, and that was the reason why they broke up. And she comforted him and said, oh, you don't have to be so hard on yourself. And remember, I was like, yes, he does. Yes, he does. And then he turned around and did the same thing to her. So the host asked Monica if she thinks that she ignored some red flags in the pods.
I don't think so. I very much appreciated the fact that he was being honest about it. I never in a million years would have thought he would have emotionally cheated on me.
So that's it for Steven, his ankles, and Monica. So anyways, now we're on to Tim and Alex. And when I tell you this scene drained me. But we get a bit more insight into what happened during that off-camera argument.
My dad had been admitted to a rehab facility, 3 weeks not talking to them, weighed in on me at that moment, and I just wanted to take a shower, go to bed. But unfortunately, I wasn't given the space that I was wanting.
So Tim is claiming, okay, that there's no animosity. There's no animosity. He fell in love with Alex for a reason. But Tim says that his version of events is a little different, okay? He says that he knew Alex was upset. He knew it was about her family, and he just wanted to be there for her while she was crying on the bathroom floor, but things quickly got out of hand.
I want to be there for her. I understood that she was upset about her family. It quickly turns contentious. What happened with the hand was put over my mouth. But also, if I'm talking to someone I love, I can't be quiet.
So in a roundabout way, Tim does corroborate that Alex did want to be left alone in that moment. The same way his own mama said that when he's in his feelings, he wants to be left alone. So he should fully understand what that feels like, yeah? He also low-key admits that he was in that hotel room yelling, all right? And I 1000% understand not wanting to be portrayed as angry, violent, or aggressive as a black man or as a black woman on TV. We already know how that goes. I get it.
Nothing on my end was physically assaulting him. I just want to make it very clear, and
I'll
he can
attest
agree
it.
with that.
I'll attest it.
I'm trying to prevent production to come and see this fight. I was trying to protect him.
And to me, that actually makes what Alex says more believable. She was trying to protect Tim by telling him not to get too loud. The producers are right outside. I don't want them to catch this argument on camera. And Tim says that all he was doing was trying to figure out what Alex needed from him. But sir, you already knew what she needed. She needed space. She asked for space. So you weren't trying to give Alex what she needed. You were seeking the reaction that you wanted from Alex.
My voice carries, but I reject you saying that I yelled at you.
Production had to come in and calm you down.
Alex said that Tim was yelling to the point where production had to come in and calm him down. That means he was hella loud, y'all. Mr. Oh, I like my woman to bite back. Mr. Ooh, it takes a lot to get me off my square. Mr. Woof, 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 bark like a dog. Yeah, him. And then we finally get to hear what Alex called Tim during that fight, which was no surprise.
Well, because he was disrespecting me for like over an hour, so you're acting like a little ass bitch.
Why would you say that to any grown man out here trying to love you?
It's always what you want. But when you want space, it's okay. But when I wanted space, it wasn't good enough, right? It's always on your terms, Tim. You got your finger in my face and yelling at me because I don't want to talk to you.
Listen, from the outside looking in on this scene right here, you see Tim, he's sitting back, very cutesy, very demure, all right? And Alex is the one, she's rah-rah with it, right? She's clearly upset. So one would think that Tim is the chill, more level-headed guy. But from what we can see from this conversation, okay, it's clear that behind closed doors, Tim is not as cool, calm, and collected as he's trying to portray on this stage. We've already seen that Tim is a my way or the highway type of guy. And we also see that he is the type who keeps score on every little thing that happens in the relationship. Oh, you didn't want to talk to me earlier? Now that you have time to talk, now I don't want to talk to you. Oh, I did ABCD for you. Now I need you to do ABCD for me. Oh, I see that you want space right now, but that's not what I want to give you right now. That's not what I want to give you right now. So I'm going to keep nagging at you until you turn around, blow up at me, and curse me out. And then I'm going to play victim. And baby, when Tim started with the all I'm trying to do is love you, what did I do to you? Ooh. Tim, you full of shit. Tim, you full of shit. And then as he's sitting on the stage, he has the nerve to ask Alex why she has an attitude. Like he not sitting there huffing and puffing looking around confused, laughing at her while she's speaking, constantly cutting her off while she's answering questions. When he was speaking, she sat back and let him speak. But when it was her turn to speak, he's cutting her off. He's laughing, very disrespectful. Yeah, I see why she called you what she called you during that argument. Now, like I said in previous reviews, Alex has her flaws as well. Okay, I don't think that these two should have been together at all. But we can tell that Alex is more willing to compromise and learn her partner's likes and dislikes, okay? She's willing to make adjustments. That is not Tim. Then we move on to this nap situation.
Back on that, why did you decide to take a nap?
We were with his parents at like 11 a.m. until about 6, 7 p.m. And I had to work at 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. What wasn't shown is we talked for like 4 or 5 hours and I simply wanted a nap.
Wait, so let me get this straight. So Alex was supposed to stay up from 11 a.m. to 3 a.m. the next day, and a 1-hour nap was too much, even after spending 4 to 5 hours talking to your parents, which you didn't object to that, okay? So we gonna go with that. And then you tried to lie during that breakup scene and say that she slept all day when your parents came because that was your truth. Huh? That is not an example of someone who cares for you and who gives a damn about you possibly falling asleep behind the wheel while you're driving to work for your 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. shift. Someone who cares about you, yeah, would say, hey mom, hey dad, we spent a lot of time together today. Okay, we filmed for about 4.5 hours, 5 hours. Roxy got a late shift tonight, all right? She has to work from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. So she's just gonna go upstairs and take a little nap before work. I don't know anyone personally who would have an issue with that. I don't know anyone. That seems pretty reasonable to me. I know some of y'all are under the impression that Tim was at the dinner table with Alex and his parents and they was in the middle of a conversation and Alex just dropped her head and fell asleep in the mashed potatoes. I know that's what some of y'all think, but clearly from this conversation, that is not what happened. And I don't know anyone who would be upset at anyone for taking a nap. Did you see Tim's daddy in that scene? I pointed that out in my review. He looked like he wanted to take a nap. Now, I said this and I'll say it again. A couple things that I did not like about Alex when she gave his parents the one-armed hug, but we gonna get to why she did that in a second, okay? I didn't like that, though, when I was watching. I didn't like her dirty-ass apartment. I do think that she should have washed the dishes after Tim cooked for her family, okay? But when it comes to this 1-hour nap, that Tim is making into such a big deal. Oh, Alex should have told Tim to kiss her whole entire ass. And I would bet money that Tim's parents weren't even the ones who were offended by this. This is just another example of Tim wanting to control every little thing and getting offended if Alex steps outside of the little box that he thinks that she should remain in. If she steps a pinky toe out of those expectations that he has set for her, it's a problem. He's offended. I am so happy that these two are not together. Then they asked Tim how he was able to share such a beautiful moment with Alex's dad, only to end the relationship 2 days later.
The engagement ended because I felt like the level of respect wasn't being given in return. And I showed up for her family because I loved this woman, and I meant that. She said she has to work, which is fine. She didn't mention that she was in the club till 4 in the morning the night before.
Listen, even the way Tim is speaking now, you can see how agitated he is. He's trying to maintain his composure, but he is clearly upset.
So many things that have been said that bold-faced lies. First off, the first thing he said, we went to dinner at Mi Vida the night before. I was not out. So
the night before we met your dad?
Can I speak?
You're saying I'm lying and making something up.
Can I speak?
And now he's trying to say, oh yeah, you work, that's fine, I understand. Clearly you don't understand if you got upset that she took a nap before her shift. Come on now. And once again, Alex has to check Tim for lying because when Tim tells his truth, the details be a little off. He claims that the night before his parents came, Alex was at the club until 4 in the morning. She's like, no, I was at dinner with you the night before. And he's like, oh, well, you called me a bitch. All right, Tim. And then we learn why Alex wasn't gung-ho to meet Tim's parents.
If you see that I look a little upset, it's because I was. The night before was the same day that he met my family. He answered that he had doubts. How do you do that whole performance and 3 hours later you say, I have doubts?
Alex asked Tim if you knew that you had doubts because you didn't realize it just after meeting my father. You had to have known before. Why did you even let me bring my dad and my family to this experience? Why didn't you just end it before this? That breakup was get back for Tim. He was still upset that Alex called him a bitch. He was still upset about the entire experience, and he wanted to embarrass her on camera. And he did a lot.
The hate on that breakup that you projected onto me was mind-blowing. It's like I killed your dog.
And even after Tim told Alex that he was having doubts, in an act of good faith, she still met up with his parents, okay? She still sat and spoke to them for 4 to 5 hours, knowing that this man might not stay with her. He should be thanking her for even showing up. But instead, he's going in on her over some dishes and a nap when he's already said that he's doubting this whole thing. Tim, are you well? How do you expect for her to be enthusiastic about meeting your parents after you just met her dad and 3 hours later told her that you were having doubts? After getting her dad all worked up. I know some of y'all like Tim, but like I said before, based on everything we've seen this season and how he was acting at this reunion, I don't think that Tim is looking for a woman to love, to learn from, to compromise and to grow with. He's looking for a woman who will follow his rules, shut your ass up, and birth him a daughter. That's it.
You laugh at everything that she says. That's disrespectful. You have no room to call her disrespectful.
Because this is your version of the truth. But I feel very attacked. And I don't feel like I was getting anything in return. You sit here and call me a bitch to my face. Fell asleep on my parents.
And at this point, Nick and Vanessa jump in because they see it's not going anywhere. And they're like, you know, y'all need to discuss this behind the scenes. And they're like, no, we don't. We good. And I agree. Y'all don't got nothing else to talk about. It's been a year. Just move on. And y'all don't ever have to see each other's faces again. As Tim would say.
I'm sure you want the juice. I think you guys need to speak afterwards, privately.
I don't think we do at all.
But Alex does let us know that she's doing great. She's just focusing on work and family. She says her and the girls on the show have been on some trips. Alex got her boat license. Love that for her. Okay. Tim says that he's been living life and he appreciates the brotherhood that he's found with the men on this show. Love that for him. So baby, they tell us that season 8 will be coming out on Valentine's Day and it takes place in Minneapolis. Okay. Now I'm going to be a little busy on Valentine's Day. Okay. So I'll see y'all a couple days later. But we will be back for Love is Blind Minneapolis. Make sure that you are subscribed. But like I said before, the fun don't stop. Oh, it's not over. All right. My Married at First Sight review for episodes 1 to 3 drops tomorrow. And it's going to be good. So make sure that you're subscribed and you hit the bell. Tell me all of your thoughts. Tell me all of your thoughts about this entire season. Now we can talk about everything that happened. I might do a reaction to my cast reveal video because, child, these people had me fooled. These people had me fooled, so it'll be fun to look back with the new knowledge that we have from the entire season. So I might do that. And tomorrow, well, I don't know if we're going to do it tomorrow or on Sunday now, I will be doing a Love is Blind live for season 7 with my girls Tammy Talks, Queen E, and Chloe Johnson. And I'm going to post that on my community tab too. So make sure that y'all stay tuned. We cannot wait to talk with y'all about the entire season. You know, we're going to have a good time like we always do. Thank you so much for being with me for this entire season of Love is Blind. All of my old subscribers, all of my new subscribers, I love and appreciate you all. Thank you. Ooh, not me about to get emotional. Oh, girl, you better stop, girl. But thank you all so much. Y'all have been so encouraging and motivating and inspiring. And okay, let me just say this. These videos, they take a really long time to make. It's a lot of editing because I like to do the zoom ins and the zoom outs and the sound effects and put the clips in, and it takes time. And some days it's like, oh my God, this is taking too long. Some days it takes really long and it's just like, ugh, I don't feel like doing this, but I do it for y'all because y'all show so much love and y'all are so appreciative in the comments. And I just always want to put out a great product for you guys. So I'm happy that y'all appreciate it. And before I start tearing up for real, I'm going to say bye. And I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Bye.
Roxy says we're gonna